Morning traders, today is Tuesday, the 17th of January. Let's get started. Pause your players here, read to the bottom. If you agree, hit that play button. Overall, our market models remain bullish. We are in day 8 of a new long using the USC cumulative tick model. The other long-term models that we have on the NAS and the ARCX, along with the SPY and the Russell 2000, are all improving. I would urge everyone to track those and take a look. Market breadth, as we view it by the 52-week new high, new lows, we are showing bullish, broad support. We just completed 9 days of upside expansion. This is the first time since the February-March 22 timeframe that we've been this long, so that's notable. Transition, which is where we transition from a put-dominated environment to a call-dominated environment, is very narrow, very clean. It's at the 39.70, 39.75. This is actually across multiple timescales and expiries, so it's a very solid line. Doesn't mean we can't penetrate it, but it means that it is coincident across timescales and expiries and is very, very powerful. To the upside, the 40.65 is the March JPM short strikes, 41,600 of them sitting up there. It's already visible. It will play a more dominant role as we move up. You'll see that here on the slides. And then the structure supports right now a move to the 41.15 area for the week to the upside, if we can get past that 40.65, of course. And then downside, right now we're looking at the 39.50 as the first major area of liquidity. And then, of course, we have a line in the sand that's down at that 3,800 area. Market model by the cumulative tick here. I just want to highlight what we call a trigger. When we have the transition of the shortest moving average across the slowest moving average, so the red crossing the cyan here, of what we call the ribbon. This is a historical view of where the cumulative tick has been. The end of day evaluation forms that trigger. And so we had this occur on Wednesday. So Thursday area, the guidance is to start looking to increase your exposure when this occurs here. And so this would be the range that we would be looking to potentially add if we pulled back to the upside here. So this is going to be right in that 39.80 range at the top side, 39.40 at the bottom side. We'll get a character change if the price pulls back, but just be aware this is what we're looking at, and things look very, very strong right now. Can always change. Always be aware that we are a little extended here. But nevertheless, when we look at the filtered cumulative tick, we had a very good strong day on Thursday. We've had buying that occurred on Friday. And here's that 52-week new high, new low, just showing that we are getting broad participation. Taking a look at the key levels, 4,100 is plus GEX, 3,800 remains the minus GEX here. This has moved back up from the 4,000 strike. We saw the growth of the 4,000 strike late last week as everyone stacked their short-term calls on there. Those vaporized on Friday, and here we go, exposing the 3,100 or 4,100 line. Expected move, this is open, high, low, close. This is a very conservative number. If you're a premium seller, we think you're probably safe today outside of these ranges for selling premium. Of course, there are tighter ranges to do, but you may take a little bit of heat. The SPX PM-Settled Complex, probably the first thing to look at. Again, here's that 39.70, 39.75 transition range. Very clean delta structure, very clean with the exception of this little node here down here at 39.25. We're looking anywhere in here as potential movement today, and any pullbacks into this area are viable pullbacks, at least we feel. A very strong call-dominated environment. Overall, the PM structure looks really good. Here are those JPM calls. This is the January expiry 41.45. Here are the March calls at 40.65, and you can see they're already starting to rear their head there. I think as we look here, the 0 DTE, again, up just a little bit here, that 39.70, 39.75 area, so we're going to push that up just a little bit on the 0 DTE. This vaporizes today, so just what's its role for today? Its role for today is this: we're going to remove a good chunk of the 4,000 calls here, and a smaller amount of the puts, and then you can see the contributions in positive gamma and positive delta all the way up to about 40, 45, 40, 50. To the downside, 39.50 is pretty strong, and certainly we don't think any chance of closing down below 38.70 here. Taking a look at the 1 DTE, we looked for this to see where we could potentially park overnight, and it's loose. 39.50 is a very, very strong. This is the proposed expiry that's coming off tomorrow. We would not be surprised at all. 39.50, 55, 60 area as potential pins, but you can see we're back and forth on this structure, and same thing with the deltas. So where we get that coincident gamma structure going back and forth and the delta structure going back and forth offers a hiding place for the dealers. And for the market where the delta and gamma exposures are minimized, so you might want to take a look at that. Anywhere in this area, if you could set up a vertical or even some sort of a broken wing, you might do just fine. Taking a look at the combo complex, definitely in call dominated territory here. You can see that 39.70, 39.75 that I was talking about earlier. Really good structure, very tight. We are watching the development down here. We are, not worried that we're going to collapse down here or anything of that nature. But when we start to see a character change down here, we want to watch both the gamma here as well as the delta. Still very strong. You can see the structure is very much intact. We're not overly worried about it. We don't think we're going to go much above the 40, 50, 40, 55 today. And here's those JPM strikes again. So just something to be aware of. We do think the likely playing range is in this area. But if we do drop down, just note there's some nodes down here that could, if the bears are emboldened and they start closing these calls, worried about their profits and opening some puts, we could start to see the sand erode underneath our toes here. Taking a look through the rest of the week here, very strong. Again, here's that 39.70, 39.75. Very good structure here, call dominated. Upside structure right now supports a run up into past the 4100, up into the 4115, 4120 range. There are a few things, speed bumps that'll slow us down as we get up there, but just be aware that we're seeing a continual improvement in the upside above this 4065 area, and we're seeing more and more and more calls get added. So as we see this build out for the week, we could actually push north. Taking a look at, I exposed this to you guys on Friday. We are watching whether or not these layers move up. They are not. They're unchanged from where we are on Friday, so we're not seeing any speculative puts go in of any magnitude. It's not changing the structure at all, and so we're still running the same structure that we ran on the downside. So for all intents and purposes, people are playing the upside and not really focused at all on the downside. When we take a look at the overall structure, you can see the 4100 is now taken over from the 4000 strike. Everyone was stacking on this on Friday. That vaporized with the expiry, and now that it's exposed, the 4100. This is actually a fairly large amount, so just keep abreast of that. Here are the JPMs. Here's the downside goalpost at 3800. 3920 is really where we start falling. Everything falls apart. Watching this pocket, the separation that we're seeing here is unusual. If we do pull back, we'll be looking to pull back to the top of this range. If we start pushing down, this will be the next area. And if we break that 49 or 3920 area, the bears will come out of the woodwork, and things will definitely change. So that's it for today. Hope you found this useful and interesting. If you have any questions, please come into the Discord. You can get there by going to GammaEdge.us, clicking on the pricing tab in the upper right-hand corner. Fill out the blanks and come on in, ask your questions, kick the tires, meet the team. It's a good place to be. Follow us on Twitter, of course, and then here on YouTube. Follow us, subscribe and follow us, and get notified next time we post something. So with that, I bid you farewell. Make it a great 4-day week, and hope to see you in the Discord. Thanks, everyone.